Welcome to Drinks and Football. My name is Gio. This is Matt.
I'm just waving at no one.
Apparently.
We're here to talk about week 6, what happened in week 6. Talk about what we think is going to happen in week 7.
Yeah.
So let's get going. We're drinking Jungling lager. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but I just know that for the first time in ever, this beer is actually available in Texas.
Okay.
Recently in the last few months. This beer's been around forever, but it's only been available in Texas for the last couple months.
It's an amber beer.
Yeah, so it's pretty decent. I don't know if it's anything amazing or special, but I mean it's a good, it's refreshing.
Good beer.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a good beer. Okay, so let's go into week 6 because there were some surprises in week 6, right?
Yeah, there were.
All right, so we'll go through our week 6 pick'ems.
Thursday night football was Tampa Bay at Philadelphia. We both picked Tampa Bay to win that game,
and they did win.
They won, yeah, but it was a lot closer than I thought it would be. It was 28 to 22. Philadelphia has been kind of showing some signs of life lately.
Yep.
And I'm going to be curious to see how they do going forward.
Yeah, if it's just a one-off thing or they're actually improving. Going on to Miami and Jacksonville.
Yes, that was the game in London.
Yes.
Jacksonville got their first win.
Yes, I always thought that Jacksonville did pretty well in London, and I was right on this one.
Yeah, you were. That was another close one, too. It was 23-20 when we actually both picked Jacksonville, too.
Yep. Urban Meyer finally got his win. Trevor Lawrence finally got his win. So
One thing about this game is I thought both quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence and Tua Tagovailoa, I should know how to say his name. I was an Alabama fan. Well, I'm still an Alabama fan, but,
after they lost, it's forget them. We lost it.
Right?
Texas
we lost to
A&M.
Texas A&M. I'm not a fan anymore. No, but they both played well. Trevor Lawrence had 319 yards and a touchdown. Tua had 329 yards and 2 touchdowns. They both played pretty well in that game. So that's kind of exciting to me, especially for Tua. I want him to do good. I want him and Jalen Hurts and Mac Jones all to do good.
Yeah.
Green Bay at Chicago.
Green Bay and Chicago. The famous Aaron Rodgers quote of saying, "I still own you."
They won that one 24-14.
So I'm glad that they won. So after this, and I'll talk about this more later on Green Bay, but they're going to have a very, very tough stretch coming in. And so that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Cincinnati, Detroit.
Cincinnati won that one. I think we both picked Cincinnati.
We did.
So we're 4 for 4 right now.
And Detroit didn't play good at all in that game.
No.
I got Cincinnati because I figured, that they're performing very well.
They had 36 total rushing yards, whereas Cincinnati had 142 total rushing yards. Joe Burrow threw for 271 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, that's just going to happen.
Houston, Indianapolis. Hey, I picked Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Indianapolis dominated that game.
Yeah. Indianapolis might finally be finding its stride here.
Yep.
Because even in the game before this one, they actually looked pretty decent.
Now, I understand that it is against Houston.
Yeah.
And they're becoming the laughing stock what the Browns was 10 years ago. But
thanks.
You're welcome.
Houston, you can't really expect much from them. Colts are finding their own, but they got Carson Wentz. And this guy was good. A couple of years ago, he had those injuries, but it seems like he might be sort of finding himself.
He's back with the coach that helped him during that time. So yeah.
Rams and Giants. We had the Rams take that one.
I think that Rams loss was a fluke, but
it was to the Cardinals. So I don't know if that was a fluke.
Oh yeah.
I think Cardinals are just that good. The Chiefs and the football team. We both picked the Chiefs. The Chiefs won 31-13.
I don't know. The Chiefs wasn't looking that good in the first half, but then they kind of came back to it, but still.
Minnesota at Carolina.
I believe Carolina lost.
Yeah, Carolina did lose. Minnesota won that 34-28. I picked Carolina.
So did I.
And I was like, there's no way Carolina's going to lose 2 games in a row.
And they did.
Yeah, they lost 3. This is the 3rd game they've lost in a row now because they were 3-0. Now they've lost 3 times since then.
So they're 3-3.
They are 3-3 now.
They started losing games ever since Christian McCaffrey died. Ever since Christian McCaffrey.
I shouldn't laugh at that. Ever since he got hurt.
Ever since he got hurt.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
Ever since he got hurt and no longer on the team.
Moving on. Chargers at Baltimore. So I picked Baltimore to win this one, but I didn't think they would win it the way they did.
I picked Chargers because I thought that the games that they came into, they were such a good powerhouse team. Powerhouse team. That was just embarrassing.
Baltimore they just destroyed them, basically.
Yeah.
And Lamar Jackson didn't even play that well. This shows me that Baltimore doesn't have to completely rely on him to win a game. Justin Herbert didn't have a great game.
But then that shows that they need Justin Herbert. Yeah. So it's like completely opposite. All right, Arizona and Cleveland. I was hoping Cleveland would win this out.
I was too. I didn't think they would, though. And I know in the last one you were giving me grief about I gotta, ride or die. I gotta go with my team. But I had to pick the team that I thought would win. And I thought it would be Arizona, and they, unfortunately, I was right. They won.
And then we'll go more in depth with Cleveland later on in the podcast with all the injuries that are going on and how that's going to affect them in the future.
Yeah.
So we got Las Vegas and Denver, and crap, I picked Denver.
I picked Denver too. I thought with everything going on with the Raiders coaching situation.
I thought I picked Las Vegas. Oh, that makes me so sad. So yes, Las Vegas won this one.
I thought with their coaching situation that they would be like not being able to do anything, but no, they are 4-2 now. And the Broncos, like the Panthers, have lost 3 in a row.
We got Dallas and New England. Dallas won that one.
It was closer than I thought it would be. 35-29.
Yep. And it was in overtime. It was such a good game. Did you see that one?
I didn't get to watch that one.
Dang.
I didn't get to watch that one.
That's one of the games you should see.
I know. I was out of town filming for another video that we're going to have on our channel here in a few weeks. So
you should have 2 phones.
Right. And then we had Seattle.
I finally have one, right? Dang, that took forever.
We had Seattle and Pittsburgh. This was another overtime game. Pittsburgh pulled it off 23-20. I picked Pittsburgh on that one.
I picked Pittsburgh too.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm wondering if Pittsburgh starting to show up here all of a sudden.
See, I can't say they're starting to show up because Seattle had Geno Smith.
And even last week, Pittsburgh beat Denver. And then the Raiders beat Denver this week. So I don't know, maybe Denver isn't what we thought they were. And like you said, Seattle didn't have Russell Wilson. So
yep.
All right, and then the Monday night game, Buffalo at Tennessee. Titans won.
Yep, I thought Buffalo was going to single-handedly beat this team because the past 2 seasons, Derrick Henry basically embarrassed them. It seemed like it didn't go any different with this one.
So I went 11-3 that week.
11-3. I went
9-5.
Yeah, 9-5. Yes, still winning record.
I think before this week we were tied, but I've kind of pulled away a little bit now.
Let me see.
Between weeks 4, 5, and 6, I am 30-16 in my picks.
And I am 28-18.
Okay. So it's pretty close then, and we still got a long ways to go. So, all right. So I want to talk a little bit about the Ravens because the Chargers have looked incredible all year. Mm-hmm. They beat the Chiefs in that great game. They beat the Browns in a nail-biter. They go to play the Ravens, and they just get
absolutely dominated. It's like they didn't show up in that game. I don't know if that's a fluke game that happened or what's going on, but especially against the Ravens where they're both fighting for, because you only get one first round bye.
Yeah.
And that's the game that they need to show up to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they're going to get that first round bye, that's the team you got to beat.
And the Bills lost too, so like basically the Ravens have a front row seat right now.
Mm-hmm. I don't think there are any other teams in the AFC that only have one loss. No, I think, the Ravens are the only team in the AFC that only have one loss now. Everyone else has at least 2 losses. So Ravens are going to be the number 1 seed as of right now. Obviously, a lot can change between now and when the playoffs actually start. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's the Ravens' division to lose at this point. And especially with the Bills losing. Tennessee's 4-2, so they're not one to sleep on either. With Derrick Henry having the game that he did and the Bills losing, I mean, that just really opens it up for the Ravens, and it shows that last week we were talking about, the Bills are a powerhouse, and then they go and lose to the Titans.
Yeah. Are the Titans just their Achilles heel, or?
I don't know. I mean, the Titans lost to the Jets.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those things at any given Sunday. Mm-hmm. We'll see how the Bills bounce back. I think that's the most important thing, how they bounce back from it.
Yeah, well, this coming week, the Bills have a bye. So we're not going to get to see them play. And the Chargers also have a bye.
Yep.
So
we're not going to see how they bounce back.
Yeah, so both of these teams are going to have a week.
And then Jacksonville has a bye too. So we're not going to see if this is the week that they improve.
Yeah, we're not going to see if they're able to keep up the momentum.
Speaking of losing, you get the Browns.
Really? That's the segue you're going to use?
But it's a good segue. Well, speaking of winning, let's go with the Browns. That's not going to sound good.
Well, you don't have to use either of those segues. You can just say, hey, speaking of the Ravens and the AFC North, let's talk about the Browns.
That would have been better, actually.
Well, Baker Mayfield had an amazing Hail Mary pass to end the first half to Donovan Peoples-Jones. It was a great pass. It was like 57 yards. Donovan Peoples-Jones balled out in this game. 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, 22 fantasy points. I don't know if he's a receiver that a lot of people pick up in fantasy.
Yeah.
But if anyone did for some reason, then you got a good one. Odell Beckham had a decent game. 79 yards on 5 receptions.
Didn't he get hurt?
I don't know. Everyone got hurt in that game. I couldn't keep track of who got hurt. Nick Chubb didn't even play because he had gotten hurt in the previous game. And then Kareem Hunt got hurt.
Yeah.
And they're both going to be out for the game against Denver on Thursday. Baker Mayfield, he's always playing with some kind of injury. His shoulder is all banged up. He took a big hit from J.J. Watt. I think he's going to still be able to play against Denver, but he's not 100%. And that does concern me, especially with both the running backs being out. And I believe both our starting offensive tackles are hurt. We're just hurt.
And it's like the worst time to get hurt, especially with going against a team like Arizona, who's showing to be a very dominant team. I mean, they're undefeated still, so, and they're showing that everything they're doing is right, whether it's the defense or offense.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, on Thursday we get to play the Broncos, who they got off to a hot start, but since then they've been losing. So I'm hoping that maybe this is a game that we'll be able to win. Because the week after that, we're facing the Steelers and then the Bengals. And then we kind of have a break with the Patriots and Lions. But then after that, it's the Ravens.
And then finally the bye week where you can hope everyone starts getting healthy from them.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we don't have a very easy schedule going forward. Especially the end of our schedule. Listen to this. We have week 14, the Ravens again. And then the Raiders, the Packers, the Steelers, and the Bengals. Say what you will about the Steelers and the season they're having. It's the Steelers.
Yeah, I know. It's a divisional. It's a rival.
It is. So even if the Steelers are like 0-10, that's still going to be a tough game because.
Yeah. And then Bengals are showing up these last few weeks.
Showing up.
Yep.
Hopefully Jarvis Landry will be back soon. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the Browns. We're just hurt all over the place. But even with all our injuries, I think if we play this game right, especially with it being at home, I think we can beat the Broncos going forward. Hopefully Chubb will be back. Landry will be back. And
Baker maybe healthier.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
How about your Packers?
Green Bay beat Chicago. During the first half, they didn't look too good. Looks like Justin Fields had things going, and then the interception happened. They were able to take over from there. There was that, 16-yard run, I believe, that he had, the longest? 16, yeah. 16-yard run that was a touchdown. And then after that, they had, he made a comment that says, I own you. I still own you, to the fans.
How do you feel about that comment?
I think that kind of arrogance is good for the team. It shows like he's invested. He's like, hey, you know what? I don't care what you do. I'm still here.
Yeah.
A lot of other, mostly on Chicago's side, doesn't like it. But of course they're not going to like it. I mean, the fact that Aaron Rodgers is 22-5 against that team.
Yeah, they probably don't like that. But, he owns them, so what do they expect, right?
They're like, oh, we know. You just don't have to tell us. So after the Washington football team, they got the Cardinals.
Oh, goodness.
The Chiefs.
I know what that's like.
The Seahawks.
Maybe Russell Wilson will be back by then.
Maybe. Vikings. The Rams.
Oh, my God.
Then they finally get their bye. They got the Bears.
The Ravens.
Then that Browns game.
My Browns. On
then
Christmas
the Vikings.
Day.
And then finally, maybe an easy game at Detroit.
Both our teams have tough stretches.
I'm not looking forward to this stretch.
No, I don't blame you.
And we got injuries, too, to our all-pro cornerback. Our injury to our left tackle, who just came back to practice this week. So we don't know if he's going to play this next week or play the second week. We got an injury to our leading pass rusher, starting pass rusher. We got injury to our second starting cornerback, which has been in and out. We also have injury to our center, our injury to our guard, which hopefully will be back this week. So, yes, we're on the same boat in terms of injuries and our tough stretch.
Schedule coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about Week 7 and just our predictions for the games that are coming up in Week 7, because we can sit here being scared about what's coming up for both our teams, and they have to play each other at some point.
In December.
On Christmas Day.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's going to be fun to talk about.
Yep.
All right, Thursday, October 21, Thursday Night Football. You know what? We're going to get our two teams out of the way here. Denver at Cleveland. I picked Cleveland.
I picked Cleveland.
I think Denver got off to a hot start, but that's done.
And I think Denver is not good enough.
Yeah, there's that.
And
it's in Cleveland, so I think that gives us a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
Even with all the injuries, I think we can beat Denver.
So do you know Baker is going to be starting that week?
I don't know. If it's not him, it's Case Keenum.
Well, and Case Keenum has starting experience.
Yeah.
He's won a few games.
Yeah, so we'll see. But I think Baker is going to be starting. But if it isn't him, then we will...
Who's their third running back?
I have no idea.
Do they even have third?
Dearnest Johnson?
Damius?
Dearnest.
Oh,
Dearnest Johnson?
Johnson?
Yeah.
All right.
And then probably after him, Baker.
All right. Washington and Green Bay. It's in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked Green Bay.
So did I.
Hopefully they can show up because Washington has a good front seven.
No, I agree. I picked Green Bay also just because it's in Green Bay. Green Bay is just the better team all around. So, yeah.
Yep.
Kansas City at Tennessee.
I picked Tennessee on this one.
I picked Kansas City on this one.
Ooh, another one.
This is a tough one, though. Like, this could go either way, especially seeing how Tennessee is played and we know what Tennessee can do. It's just that they don't always do it.
Yeah.
And I think if they play to their best ability, that they can beat Kansas City.
I think Kansas City defense, it's still not quite as good because even though they shut out Washington in the second half, I still don't think it's at that point yet. And I think Tennessee's running game and Julio Jones.
Yeah. That's a lot for that defense to deal with.
Yeah.
Atlanta at Miami.
I picked Miami.
I picked Atlanta.
I think Tua has shown some type of progress finally, and the fact that it's in Miami.
I would love Miami to win just because Tua, but I think it's going to be Atlanta. Not because Atlanta's a great team. I just don't feel that Miami is quite there yet. I mean, they did lose to the Jags after all, but I don't know. I think Atlanta's just the better team there.
New York Jets and New England.
This is a divisional matchup. I'm taking New England.
I'm picking New England.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jets still hasn't shown that
They haven't shown that they can be consistently good. The more I think about that game against the Titans, I feel like that game was just a fluke. That they shouldn't have won that game. And the Titans had a bunch of players injured that have since come back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm picking New England.
Carolina and New York Giants.
I'm picking Carolina.
I'm picking Giants.
Yeah, I mean, the way Carolina's been playing lately, that makes a lot of sense. But I just think, at some point, Carolina has to win again. They just have to.
Yeah, that's what I said about Detroit, but,
Yeah. Cincinnati at Baltimore.
I picked Baltimore.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, we've seen what they've
Baltimore
done. Baltimore
hasn't shown me any letdown on their defense or slowdown. Cincinnati, if it's one of those close matches, I believe it's Cincinnati-Baltimore. But the fact that it kind of helped me lean towards Baltimore is the fact that it's home.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Philadelphia at Las Vegas.
I picked Las Vegas.
I did too. I initially picked Philadelphia, but then I changed my mind. Just because it's in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas showed me last week that they can win without John Gruden. And Jalen Hurts, even though Philadelphia put up a fight against the Bucs, Jalen Hurts just he's not quite playing that well. So I don't think Philadelphia is going to be able to pull it off against The Raiders.
Detroit and Rams.
Rams.
I picked Rams too.
Moving on.
Houston and Arizona. Arizona.
Moving on.
Chicago and Tampa Bay.
I picked Tampa Bay.
I picked Tampa Bay too. I don't think Justin Fields has shown enough. And Tampa Bay has shown they're just at the top.
No, I mean, I don't think this game is going to be like what Houston at Arizona is going to be. I think Chicago can put up a good fight against Tampa Bay. I think they have that in them, but I don't think they have it in them to pull off the win. So, yeah, I agree.
But also, this is Tom Brady's second year playing against Chicago because they had that debacle last year with Tom Brady with the whole like fourth down type thing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Indianapolis and San Francisco.
I picked San Francisco mostly because it's at home. I think Indianapolis is kind of hot right now, but San Francisco is playing well, or they've been playing well. They had a bye last week, so they're going to be fresh, and I think they'll take that one.
I picked Indianapolis. I think they're going to ride off that momentum that they got.
Okay.
New Orleans and Seattle.
It's so hard to pick a game when New Orleans they're like the most unpredictable team in the league right now. They really are. That being said, I did pick Seattle just because whenever it's in Seattle, that's huge. Like, I feel like Seattle and Kansas City and like Green Bay are teams that whenever you're playing in their home stadium, you're already at a huge disadvantage. For that reason, I picked Seattle.
Yep. I picked Seattle, even though New Orleans is up and down and unpredictable. I feel like Seattle gets the advantage for their home field advantage, and also the fact that they just lost really close to Pittsburgh. And I think that's going to drive them a bit more.
Yeah.
So with my picks, they're all home teams except for Indianapolis.
Yeah, most of mine are home picks except for 3 of them: Kansas City, Atlanta, and Carolina. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Week 7 plays out and who wins the week.
Yep, and that'll start Thursday.
That will start Thursday. Oh, my God.
And you better watch that game.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it. That is going to be it for today. Thank you for listening to our podcast, Drinks and Football. If you want to get more content from us, you can visit our YouTube channel, Drinks and Chill. Otherwise, we'll upload this podcast every week until basically the season is over, and after that we may still keep uploading. We don't know.
Yeah.
But until next time, thank you so much for listening. Please follow our podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.